Hello everyone, it's Sunday afternoon. I hope you're well. Welcome back to the Magnificent Mags channel on a beautiful but cool day here in Morpeth. Yes, look at this, I'm on top of Hill. I'm just doing this handheld today. No selfie stick. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous day. It's a bit cold, but it's December tomorrow. Yes, it's the last day of November, but Newcastle United helped us warm up last night, didn't they? Now, I just want to explain why I'm recording this on Sunday, like dinner time, early afternoon. Last night I was out watching the match at the Anson, and then we went to Whitley Bay to meet some mates. We're having a catch up with a friend who's from Wallsend like us, but he lives in Boston now, but he was home from the States. Now he's going back to work a few weeks in London before he's back home for Christmas, when we'll see him again. So we're having catch-up drinks, and obviously a good excuse to do that was being out for the match. And so I thought, do I want to record me post-match thoughts last night? I did outside Dirty Habits in Whitley Bay, but I thought, you know what? It was noisy and it was dark, and I thought I'd get a video today because the weather, yes, it is crisp, but it's a beautiful Sunday. Sorry, I'm just cutting through this gate. Just walking down the stairs. So yeah, just in Morpeth, been for a nice lunch. Grand Cathy Lollo, first time I've been there. My uncle's been there before. He recommended it's fantastic. I've just got to say, by the way, I'm not being paid for any of this, just at the outset, but I just want to say, if you're ever in Morpeth, try Grand Cathy Lollo on the High Street. It's absolutely stunning. So yes, you joined us in Carlisle Park, and Newcastle United really warmed the weather up last night, didn't they? They finally got their first away win since the 7th of April domestically, and we trounced Everton. It was our first ever trip to Hill Dickinson, and look, Everton had been unbeaten in 4 games against them, but then David Moyes hadn't beat in 7 games, so something had to give. But thankfully Newcastle United got the win, and we were full value for it. And all our team was right, bar Tonali, which was a shock. But you know what? Tonali did look a bit tired on Tuesday night in the south of France. And it's good to see Eddie Howe finally dip into his squad and rotate. And it worked a treat. Lewis Miley, I've always said Lewis Miley, when he's playing alongside Bruno, they're always on the same wavelength. He never has a bad game alongside Bruno. And them two boss the midfield. Now, I know Joe Lint was in there as well. He's more to break it up. But he had a quiet game by his standards, but he still got stuck in. He was aggressive. And Ramsdale, yeah, the big talking point before the game was Aaron Ramsdale or Nick Pope. Now, it's said that Nick Pope picked up a hamstring injury, making his final save in training before they travelled down to Merseyside. But I'm sorry, I just think Eddie Howe's trying to protect him. If he was on the bench, there would have been a lot of scrutiny on him. So I think he was protecting Pope. The party line that's being put out there is he's injured, but I don't think he's injured. I think it's just saving face. But look, Aaron Ramsdale came in last night. There's nothing he could have done about the goal. He was, I thought he was really calm. He was assured, claiming crosses. He's celebrating with the fans when we scored. I love his mentality, his character like that. You've got to be nuts to play in goal. And then, yeah, he was so good with his distribution as well. The defence looked a lot more reassured and calm. They weren't looking over the shoulder. The wall was looking for him as an out if we were under pressure. And then, but who was key to our win last night? Well, Bruno was excellent too. He was on the ball a lot more, and he was always dangerous, making things happen as he does. His press resistance is phenomenal. Miley, goal and an assist. Woltemade's footwork, excellent. And Anthony Elanga, I've been calling for him to start, and Anthony Elanga finally justified why we signed him. Look, I know it's 1 game. There's still a long way to go. A bit more for him to prove, but that was his best performance to date so far. Anthony Elanga was fantastic. However, the key to that win last night was the fullbacks. They are so fundamental to that 4-3-3 working, because look at how much they get up and down the pitch. And when they're fullback, as I said, like when Ramsdale's in goal, the team aren't looking over their shoulder worried. When them two are fullback, they've got the engine, they've got the quality to get up and down the pitch. They are fantastic. And Lewis Hall put in a phenomenal performance at left back. Just his engine and his quality, he just motored up and down that left side, and then his quality on the ball again for the cross for Malik Chow's second and 4-0. But then Tino Livramento on the other side, he was always a threat. on transition, getting up and down. And yes, I don't think he was as solid as Lewis Hall, but he still had a good game for me. I've got to say though, like the reason why those two fullbacks are so key to our 4-3-3 is that Eddie Howe plays them inverted as well. That's what he done last night. He played them as 10s. If you looked during the game, they were tucked inside, like I said, the inverted role. They were playing more as number 10s, and that created a box in the midfield. And then that meant it only left the two centre halves. They were both occupied by Nick Woltemade. And then that left so much space down the flanks, and that's where we got so much joy. But I was saying before the game, their wingers were dangerous in Jack Grealish and in Iliman Njai, but they didn't even have a sniff last night. That's how good those two were. But look how much better we are when we've got Tino Livramento and Lewis Hall, because immediately, like I said, the team aren't looking back, worrying if they'll do a job. The defensive line and the midfield line's not a low block, it's more mid block, and the wingers are pushed high. And I think that's why it gave Anthony Elanga so much confidence last night, because from the off, Nick Woltemade, his brilliant footwork, and straight away, Woltemade, lovely little footwork, holding his man off, played Elanga through. And Elanga is a player who I feel like runs on instinct. And that's the first time I've seen him really open the taps and just get on his bike. And the way he ran through straight away and forced the save out to Pickford, that is just so much credit to him. And then what happened from the resulting corner from Lewis Miley, which, yeah, I was shocked to see Lewis Miley on corners, but he whipped in a fantastic ball straight onto the head of Malik Chow, who was outstanding. It wasn't a perfect performance, but I know he's never flustered. That's what I don't get about. He's so calm and composed, but he's not flustered. But it wasn't a perfect performance because obviously they got a goal back. Him and Tino Livramento switched off, but what a fantastic game from Malik Chow. Those two headers are just reward for an exemplary start to his Newcastle United career. Just so dominant in the air, so classy in possession. And like I said, nothing bothers him. He just strolls through games. What a signing. Honestly, getting him and Sandro from Milan. Thank you, AC Milan. But yeah, that was a brilliant start. And then, as you'd expect, Everton being the home team, got the home crowd, they had more possession. I don't think we had the ball for about 20 minutes after that opening goal. But yeah, Everton had possession. They had some chances, but I don't feel they really threatened Nick Pope that much. However, against the run of play, we then doubled with lead. It shows the confidence Elanga then had. The fact he's got a competent fullback behind him, knowing he can get forward. That burst of pace for the opening goal. The confidence was sown through his veins. And then what did he do? Tino Livramento linked up with him down the right, played him in. He tried to put the cross in. It kind of got recycled back out to it came to Barnes, I believe, and then it came to Livramento. And then Livramento then waited for Barnes to arc his run. He found Barnes crossed it in, but then it was cleared slightly. Livramento tried a shot and then kind of deflected off Nick Woltemade and one of their players, but then it dropped to Burn. Burn saw Miley, laid it back for him, and then honestly, we were howling so much at Jordan Pickford's error, because obviously he's been a pantomime villain against us in recent fixtures, but then he's then got his head together and he hasn't really been doing all the taunts that he likes to do against the crowd and everything. He seemed a lot more mature these days, but it's always good to see him make an error, because he was so good on Monday at Old Trafford in that win. And I thought it's going to be a tricky game going to Everton, because they've been in a bit of form. But yeah, that error just knocked the stuffing out of them. The wind was gone out of their sails after they came back after our opener. And yeah, Miley didn't really catch it so well with his left foot, but honestly, Pickford's error just knocked the wind out of Everton's sails. And then when we got in with stride, we were really purring, and we had some chances we won, a lot more possession. And then Nick Woltemade, again, Anthony Elanga, that's a nod to his confidence. Elanga again ran down that right-hand side, beat his man, and then just as he was getting crowded out, put the ball back for Woltemade. And then normally you'd expect a striker in those positions to try and drill it in the bottom corner past the goalkeeper. But I mean, I think I seen him earlier in the game. He tried to round Pickford. That's the audacity and the confidence and the technical quality of him. But he he just out of nowhere, just an outrageous lob over Pickford, and wow, I thought Pickford's error brought the house down, and well, it did bring the house down with laughter, but that brought the house down with applause. Everyone in the bar was on the feet just applauding how good he actually is. To lob it over the goalkeeper from there was just outstanding. And 3-0 at half time, you just knew not even Newcastle could have screwed that one up. And then obviously second half came, and then I believe Woltemade had a shot blocked. Yeah, it got blocked on the line, but then it came out wide to Lewis Hall, and Lewis Hall's ball in right onto the head of Malik Chow. Buried it again past Pickford, 4-0. And that's thoroughly deserved. I've been feeling he's been threatening for a while. It's good to see we score from like set pieces and crosses and utilising his height, because last night you could tell when that lineup came out, even though I saw Tonali wasn't there, it gave us so much confidence that Eddie Howe trusted his squad to rotate it, and it was justified. Woltemade wasn't just dropping deep this time; he was drifting out wide. He was coming short. He was getting into the box. He was going all over. He was causing them so many problems. Like I said, the box in midfield caused so many problems because their centre halves were occupied by him. He was dragging them all over, so I had so much space and freedom in behind. And then Byrne got let off, obviously, when Barry handballed it, when he scored, well spotted by VAR. But like I said, the only blot on the copybook for Tino and Malik Chow last night was when they switched off for Keenan Drewsbury Hall's goal. But it was a fantastic touch and a lovely finish past Ramsdale. But look, I didn't feel Everton threatened after that. We made some subs. Tonali and Gordon came on late. Willock, with the game being open, Everton being run ragged, there was a lot more space for him to run into. Ramsey, couple of neat touches. I think he had a couple of shots, found his man a couple of times, but he was a bit loose in possession. But look, all that mattered was getting that monkey off our back and getting that first away win domestically since April. And yeah, it was fully deserved. We walked away last night with smiles on our faces. It was a comprehensive win, but it just shows you though, like I said, I keep coming back to them both, but when you've got Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento in there, competent fullbacks who can get forward and drop deep, they've got the stamina, they've got the engine, they're just, honestly, it just gives the team such a lift, just them two being there. And Ramsdale in goal, he done some great passes. He done one to Joe Linton on the left, Joe Linton done a 1-2 with Bruno, and then I can't remember who was played there. I think it was Harvey Barnes, but just having a keeper who can distribute so well, because I do think he's similar with Pope in a way to the shot stopping, but he talks to his defence, which Pope doesn't, and obviously his distribution is far superior. And yeah, Pope is injured. I do think it's the club trying to save face, so the attention wasn't on Pope. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, Ramsdale's got to keep the jersey now. And yeah, we're up and running. And we've got now 2 winnable home games coming up against Spurs. I'll be there on Tuesday and Saturday against Burnley. But it's going to be a busy week. Obviously, I'm up Morpeth today, just blowing off the cobwebs, going to a Stranger Things quiz tonight at Durano Lounge. It's Tynemouth. And then on tomorrow, I'm at the United event at Stack. So that'll be interesting. I'll bring you some footage from that. I'll take all the key points away. Tuesday, obviously, it's Spurs, so I'll do a post-match reaction to that. Friday's my work Christmas party. Saturday, it's Burnley. Then a week tomorrow, on the 8th, on the Monday, I'm flying out to Germany for a game against Leverkusen. But we're staying in Cologne, so I'll obviously be bringing you footage from Germany too. But yeah, a thoroughly deserved win, comprehensive win. And it's just great that the team, I thought we got our mojo back against City, and yes, I felt we played like I said, we were better in Marseille than we were at West Ham or Brentford, despite we're not getting the result. It was just Pope's moment of madness. But I feel it's been a very good week in terms of performance. The lads have turned up, the squad's being used, and I feel like we've hit on something good there. It's shown that we don't have to rely on Sandro Tonali too much, the way Lewis Miley played last night, and Miley now getting the run of games. I don't think the solution, like Howe said, he could play it right back. I think he's just trying to like talk his player up. He's so good in midfield, and it's good to know we've got someone who can play there. If Tonali is ever injured or we need to rotate, we can rely on Miley. So yeah, squad's looking good. Wissa's back on the grass after Marseille, so he's going to be back soon. That'll add to the squad. We'll wait and see what happens with AFCON. But Oh yeah, just delighted. We've got that monkey off our back now. 2 winnable home games. Obviously, Spurs lost to Fulham yesterday, and then we've got Burnley as well, who also lost. So yeah, it's looking like an exciting week coming up. A lot's happening. So I'll keep you I'll keep the videos coming on the channel. Like I said, there'll be one tomorrow after the event. It'll be late, obviously, by the time I'm home, and then there'll be one after the match on Tuesday. Sorry, and then one after the match on Saturday, and then I'm going to do a video and post that for starting my trip to Germany a week tomorrow. But anyway, that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, please like, comment and subscribe if you have liked this video, and I will be back with my next one tomorrow after the We Are United event at Stack. So for now, enjoy the rest of your weekend, Mags. Thank you for watching, and I'll give you one last shot of Morpeth. Like I said, just handheld today, no selfie stick. Bye bye for now.